People at Retrobit hooked me up with a pair of their new Dual Link NES controllers. Just full disclosure, this isn't a paid thing, but I did get free controllers out of the deal. Now, let's see if they're any good. As you can tell by looking at them, they have art licensed from Capcom of Mega Man and Ghouls and Ghosts, two of the more popular Capcom properties from the 8-bit era. It's a good fit. Personally, I like the simple design of the Mega Man one. Not that I'm really going to spend much time looking at the controller, especially when there's video games to be played. You'll notice just looking at the controller that there's a bit of a change in the layout. The start and select have been moved up a bit, and the action buttons are set in an angle with the A raised up a little bit. Having the action buttons set like this is actually really comfortable. My thumb just falls right exactly where it should, but the start and select, that's going to take a little bit of getting used to. Also, the reason they're called Dual Link is because on top of having your traditional NES connection, you also have a USB connection, meaning you can use this on your emulation devices like a Raspberry Pi or Retro Freak or your computers. So that's a really cool touch. But for this, we're going to test out the functionality using my HD Famiclone because my original NES is in storage, and also want to do some testing with the USB on my Raspberry Pi. So I figure since we're using these licensed Capcom controllers, we should play a Capcom game. And since I'm using my Famiclone, I figured the best pick would be to play my Famicom version of Mighty Final Fight. Great game anyway. So let's just give it a go here. I'll play as Cody. Other than like a lot of the story text being in Japanese, the game isn't too different from the US version. Whoa. And the controller feels good. It responds just like you'd expect. There's no edges or arrows on the inside of the D-pad. It's all flat and smooth. And that actually feels kind of good, actually. I feel like there's a lot of influence from modern controllers. And I like that. And this is just a great game anyway. I did a review of it not that long ago. You can check that out. I'll put a card up on the screen. Also, the Famiclone in question, my HD Famiclone here, that's something I did a review of as well. I'll put a card up for that too, maybe. And yeah, this feels good. I'm just going to play through this first level here to get you. I mean, if I had face cam, you'd actually see me holding the controller, but I don't have that, not in this setup at least. I actually think this is even a much more fun game than the original Final Fight, so I'm kind of enjoying playing this. And here's Thrasher, or Damned, or whatever you want to call him, and he sets a trap for me. And you know what? I think I will leave this right about here, because there's just a little text here, and then it goes to the boss battle. Okay, now we're going to test the functionality of the USB port. And I've got this set up in RetroPie on a Raspberry Pi, and it took a couple minutes to get the calibration just right, you know, get the buttons to do what they're supposed to, but that's just me being out of practice setting up a controller with this thing. And let's just play a little Mega Man 2. I know I could have like busted out the cartridge and played it on the other thing, but what the heck. Play it on the Raspberry Pi, why not? Figure
why not see how it feels if it's still responsive? Because it was very responsive playing with the Famiclone, so let's see how it responds playing like this. There's nothing like that. This is one of my favorite bits of game music of all time, right here, the Flashman stage. It's just such an earworm. It gets ingrained in my memory ever since I was rather young and first played Mega Man. And I'm playing sloppy as all heck. But then again, it don't matter. I'm just here to test the functionality of a controller today. I'm not playing to, like, beat this game or anything. And I do think the controller feels pretty good. Responsive, just like you'd want it to be. I'm playing like hell, but that's not the fault of the controller. You know, I'm not blaming the controller. I'm actually saying the controller's quite good, and it's not just because I got it for free either. It is a very, very nice feeling controller. For those not familiar with Flashman Stage, you do slip around. That's the game. That's not the controller doing anything. Missed my jump. That was my fault, not the controller. Again, you're slipping around, so... But yeah, the controller feels good. It's actually a very natural thing having the B and A buttons on the angle. Definitely not complaining about that. And there you have it. Beat Flashman. Did a sloppy-ass job of it, but I did it. And truth be told, these controllers feel pretty darn good. I will say, for those plugging this into an NES or something that uses an NES port, that it is kind of tight plugging it in. That's something I seem to have noticed. So you might want to be a little careful with that.
In closing, I think these are a very nice alternative to your traditional NES controllers. I really like the angled action buttons. That's very comfortable. I'm not a big fan of the move to start and select. That's going to take a lot of getting used to. The D-pad feels nice. I really like the added touch of having the USB connection, and the artwork on these is great. I really like how the Mega Buster on Mega Man's arm there lines right up to that select button. That looks really neat on the form of this. And for 20 bucks or a little less, you'll find these things in stores. You really can't go wrong. That's not a bad price. And now, let me throw the ball over to you guys watching. What are your favorite video game controllers of all time? What are your least favorite video game controllers? And lastly, what do you think of modern companies like Retrobit making brand new peripherals for your retro hardware? Leave a comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. Hope you've enjoyed the review of Retrobit's Dual Link controllers. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Take care.